And a very happy Monday to you at 12:07 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wangs in Culver City.
John, over the weekend, there were lots of street takeovers, and you guessed it, Oakland, including one that had 500 cars with no police response. And let's just say the locals are getting fed up and ready to take action into their own hands.
If I had a gun, I would have started shooting.
500 cars? That's more than they get in the parking lot at a WNBA game.
And OPD says, well, if they have 500 cars and we have 10, there's nothing we can do.
Maybe if they want to shut it down, they can treat it the same way that they treat the WNBA games and just start throwing big rubber penises out there on the playing field.
Johnny, we are 2 minutes into a show on a Monday, and already you're on the line.
Did you see, by the way, that they're throwing the book at this guy who got caught doing that in New York? They're treating him like he's Jack the Ripper. What are you going to do? 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, last week, we know that California Governor Gavin Newsom went to war with Bed Bath & Beyond, or whatever it is that they're calling themselves these days.
I think now they want to be called Bed Bath Beyond Home, which is a fantastically stupid name.
What's next? Are they going to add a QIA at the end, too? Anyway, Bed Bath & Beyond said that they would not be opening up any new locations in California, or any locations, I guess I should say, in California, because of the state's business climate. Gavin Newsom immediately fired back and took shots at Bed Bath & Beyond, saying there's nothing wrong with the business climate in California. Well, Bed Bath & Beyond disagrees, and as it turns out, Randy, so do many other business owners.
In fact, there is a big battle brewing in Los Angeles right now between hotels and the unions that represent hotel workers, where they, through their favored members of the city council, got a massive wage increase to $30 an hour by 2028 with $8 an hour of health care, doubling the labor costs for hotels that have now spent money collecting signatures for a ballot initiative to get that repealed. Meanwhile, the union doubled down and got their signatures for a ballot initiative to make it $30 an hour for everybody. And where's the mayor in all this? Nowhere. But it is making doing business in the city of Los Angeles, let alone the state of California, very difficult. And one Hollywood hotel owner spoke to KCAL about how difficult it's gotten. Here is a report from KCAL.
Los Angeles could soon see its minimum wage for hotel and airport workers jump to $30 an hour. Now, it's a move supporters say.
When's my wage increase come in?
Here's the question. If you're just going to be totally ridiculous about what you're going to make the minimum wage, why not make it $100 an hour? Just go for the gold.
Remember, when Barbara Lee Speaks for Me unsuccessfully ran for Senate, her platform was $50 an hour.
Quite frankly,
it's hard to believe that Barbara Lee was one bridge too far for California voters.
But not too far for Oakland.
Nope.
Now, it's a move supporters say is long overdue, but critics and business owners warn this could be a breaking point.
Jeff Zierenum is owner of the Hollywood Hotel, and he's here to talk about his concerns for staying in business. I know there's been a lot of challenges recently to the tourism industry. Can you talk about what you're seeing?
Well, number one,
he already sounds defeated.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he needs a scotch on the rocks pronto.
Business is a little slow right away.
Okay.
You know, the city is not running on all cylinders. We've had a lot of challenges. We've had the fires going on. And when people are traveling to a location, for example, Los Angeles, they're looking for safety and they're looking for affordability.
You're not going to find either of those in the city of L.A.
Nope.
So safety has been in the news a lot lately, and there's a lot of images about, you know, crime and fires and all of these things kind of build up. And so when they're thinking about traveling to a location, Los Angeles, that always pops into their mind first, right? So I cater to a lot of families.
Right.
And when you're traveling with families, with your family members, you're always thinking about safety.
Safety, yeah.
Safety is number one. So then when you're deciding, you're always looking for, is a place affordable?
Right.
Nope.
Not here.
So Los Angeles is already expensive.
Yeah.
It's already expensive. And when you're trying to raise the minimum wage to a point which is actually $38 if you take in all the different things, if you do the math.
Thanks, Hugo, for that.
This guy's thinking, I know a lot of businesses like In-N-Out can pack up and move to Tennessee. How the hell am I going to move a hotel to Nevada?
Which is almost 100% increase of what our current.
100%.
Wow.
Almost.
Wow.
Not quite, but getting there.
How about that? An act of the city council overnight can double your labor costs.
And, of course, none of these people understand economics, so they don't know and they don't care.
What are hoteliers supposed to do?
Now, do you
It's all this nonsense of, everyone's going to make so much money during the Olympics. That's 3 weeks.
Oh, no. They look at this guy and they think that he's Paris Hilton. He's traveling around with a little dog in his purse, flying private, washing his hair with Evian, throwing glasses of Chardonnay at people on Bravo. And that's just not the experience for most of these owners.
Even Paris got a real job now. She's a DJ.
What are hoteliers supposed to do?
Now, do you cater to a lot of international tourists?
I cater to a lot of international tourists, a lot of families, somewhat business as well. But, affordability is a key factor in attracting people to Los Angeles. So
it's interesting. I've been to Boston, Minneapolis, and Mexico recently. All 3 cities that I was in, they were asking me, I don't think it's safe to go to Los Angeles. And I had to...
How about you go to Mexico and they're like, wait, you're from L.A.?
Let that sink in one moment. Remember, if you grew up here, remember what people would tell you when you were a teenager and you were thinking about going to Tijuana. Because that's where you could drink, and that's where you can gamble, and that's where you can see all kinds of naughty shows that are illegal in 13 American states. And people would say, what are you, on drugs? They shot the mayor. They killed the cardinal. The cartels are all over the place. What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of raging alcoholic lives inside you where you're willing to roll the dice on that? And now the roles are reversed. Now the people in Tijuana are saying, my God, have you seen what Los Angeles has turned into? Stay away from there.
I had to be the tourism industry basically spokesperson. Like, no, it's okay.
Right. And I was recently at an event in Orange County, and they heard about the event that happened on Vermont with the nightclub with the guy running into the thing.
Oh, you mean where the jackass drove into 30 people?
And then they shot him in the keister?
That was all they were asking me. They were all talking about that. So, safety is a key.
Yeah.
It's a major issue. And
you imagine this guy has friends that own hotels in Orange County.
I wonder how envious he is of his pals.
And all they do is pepper him with questions about all the crime stories in L.A. Because if you get a hotel in Costa Mesa, not a lot happens.
No. If you're on Beach Boulevard in Stanton, though, I'm sure you've got some stories.
So when we're not running on all cylinders, and there's a little bit of a hesitation, it doesn't mean that all people are not coming to Los Angeles.
Of course.
You just a significant.
Only the rubes. I understand the tourism appeal of Southern California. I don't understand the tourism appeal of the city of Los Angeles.
Well, and then when the tourists come to town, they're planning their trip based on what Lucy and Ethel did. And you got to understand that the world has changed a whole lot in 75 years.
The Walk of Fame is not interesting, and it is full of you-know-what on the street.
That's right.
Just a significant amount. But that significant amount, whether 10% or more, it makes a huge difference.
Half the movie studios aren't in the city of Los Angeles anymore.
No, they're shooting their movies in Georgia, New Mexico, and Canada.
And the bigger studios, Universal, that's not the city of L.A. WB, that's in Burbank.
It makes a huge difference in
Disney's in Burbank. There's nothing to do in Burbank, but all the movie studios are there.
It makes a huge difference in our income
Absolutely.
and on our revenues.
Jeff,
I'm going to need an assist on that one.
Shang, can you help her out?
Our income.
Absolutely.
And, on our
Thank you, Shangy.
She's so helpful.
Poor girl's just sitting on the sidelines because Oakland said, let's get rid of her and put in an 80-year-old that has the same ideas. Still mad about that.
Good job, Oakland.
absolutely.
and on
And
our revenues.
Jeff, talk about the income aspect here. You, like so many other business owners, took a huge hit during the pandemic, having to cut your staff. Do you
You mean when the city of L.A. was actively rooting for you to go out of business so they could buy your hotels for a song and give them to the homeless?
So that way, if and when any other hotel person decided to come back and buy the property, they'd be buying a property that's totally destroyed.
do you think you've recovered?
No.
Oh.
No. My bar is still closed.
It was 5 years ago.
This guy sounds like he has PTSD.
Also, Hollywood Hotel doesn't have a bar?
What are you supposed to do at night?
We haven't recovered. The amount of people that are coming is not sufficient enough to keep certain outlets open.
In 3 weeks of the Olympics isn't going to change that.
So he's keeping the bar closed because the hotel is empty and it doesn't make sense to staff it.
Well, yeah. Soon, every person working in that hotel is going to make $30 an hour plus health care.
And it just leads to this vicious cycle because if you're paying a fortune to stay at his hotel and you can't even have a drink after you just took your kids to Universal Studios all day, at night after you put the kids to bed, what's the point?
I've cut down on my maintenance staff. I used to have 6, now I have 2. I've cut down on my front desk staff. I used to have 2 people at the desk at all times. Now I only have 1.
Now you got to call Rez.
Yeah, good luck with that 800 number when you're talking to Bobby in Bangladesh.
Housekeeper, same thing. That just goes with occupancy. So
Yeah, that's one of those things that definitely was a change during COVID where, we don't want people in your room because of COVID. And then after COVID, we're just not going to clean your room every day.
Yeah, that was one great big scam. That had nothing to do with COVID. That was a budget cut.
And now they have all these signs that say they're doing it because they're going green.
Oh, yeah.
all of these take a factor, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I understand people want to have higher wages. We all do. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah,
We all do.
Yeah.
100%.
So we all do.
Because it is an expensive city.
But we have to do it. We have to raise wages in moderation, and they cannot be going over the inflation 3 or 4 or 5 times. So it's hard. It's hard to make things. The math doesn't work.
For you and many other businesses.
Yes.
And we've already seen some hotels, because of Hugo's legislation, say that they're canceling expansions because they will not be able to afford it.
How do you compete with hotels in El Segundo if you're in L.A.? How do you compete with hotels in Burbank if you're in L.A.? How do you compete with hotels in Orange County if you're in L.A.? I don't see how these people survive.
So you have a pin. You are also in charge of that's the Hollywood sign.
That is
you're
the
in
Hollywood
charge of
sign.
the Hollywood sign.
I
They
have
call
the
you
hon-
Mr.
You could just Google the Hollywood sign. It's not that interesting. You can't even hike up there right now.
I have.
It's a sign that says Hollywood. There, I saved you a whole vacation.
It used to say Hollywood Land.
I
They
have
call
the
you
hon-
Mr. Hollywood?
Yes.
So are you hearing from other business owners in the area, or is this specific to your particular area?
I'm involved in a lot. I'm a community guy,
Yeah.
and I get involved in businesses, different meetings, and I'm hearing it from
Everybody.
Everybody. And yesterday I was on I'm also on the Tourism Marketing District Board,
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's an uphill fight.
where all the hoteliers get together, and they're all saying it. We're all saying it. That was a big topic of our meeting yesterday. And times are tough.
Yeah.
Times are tough. And when you're trying to raise that minimum wage, we can't do it.
Yeah.
We just can't do it. Moderation, okay.
But not the jump.
almost 100% increase,
Yeah.
Nobody can do that.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being with us
My
to share
pleasure.
your story and give us a little insight into what's going on.
Sure.
Gonna need another assist there.
My
share
pleasure.
your story and give
Absolutely.
us a little insight into what's going on.
Sure.
Wish
Thank
you all the best.
That guy sounded so depressed.
Maybe Shane can be in the hotel industry.
Shane.
She could star in the remake of Newhart.
That's right. I like that. That was amazing.
So that's what's going on with the owner of the Hollywood Hotel, despondent and depressed because it's impossible to do business here, and the city council just made it even harder.
So that's what this man in the hotel industry had to say. Last week, it was Bed Bath & Beyond saying California is impossible to do business in. Gavin Newsom disputes all of it. Gavin Newsom attacked Bed Bath & Beyond, said, I thought you guys went out of business.
So did I.
Well, we stopped getting those coupons in the mail.
They did file for bankruptcy and close every store. That is true.
But what, they kept Res open?
They kept an online marketplace open, and now someone else has the name, and they're opening a store in Tennessee. Whoop, woo.
So Gavin Newsom says California is a fine place to do business. These two business owners are saying the opposite. We know there are many of you in the audience who own small businesses in California. Now it's your opportunity to weigh in. Newsom says you have it easy. What's your response? 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222, 800-222-5222 is a telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Last week, Bed Bath & Beyond said California is an impossible state to do business in. Today, it's a man who's in the hotel business in Los Angeles. Newsom says they're full of it. Many of you in this audience own small businesses. What say you? At 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, if you were on vacation last week and you want to find out what you missed out on, that's easy to do.
All you got to do is search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's the Apple Podcast app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for The John Phillips Show. Hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes. Do a Google on the YouTube. Get the KABC app. Get the KSFO app. There are so many different ways to listen live to our radio stations and download all the podcasts. You can listen to these podcasts at night when you're going to bed or early in the morning when you're going to get the donuts.
Okay, you got glare on and you still have donut hole.
I only played that about 100 times this weekend.
A lot of people were emailing you at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com asking for that cut.
He is my favorite guy. Sacramento donut guy. Stop robbing him.
Okay, you got glare on and you still have donut hole.
Gavin Newsom says it's not hard to do business in California. It's hard in Texas and Florida. That's not what business owners are saying. Many of you own businesses here in California. What say you? At 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Pete in San Francisco. Pete, hello.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Wait, what was that?
You there?
We're here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco under Gavin Newsom. I own a small business. I own my corporation for almost small corporation, by the way. It's almost 30 years. After the COVID, or during the COVID, it was a nightmare. I had about an income for over $500,000 down to zero. All in that during COVID. Plus, now I'm losing client because the client in San Francisco closing the shop because they can't deal with the homelessness and snatch and grab. And using the facility, they're just walking into a hotel, big hotel, do whatever they need to do, and walk away, mess up the bathroom. So they're locking up everything. Or the owners quit doing the business. So that's my story for Gavin Newsom.
What kind of business are you in, sir?
In IT and communication.
And have you been able to recover since COVID, or are you still way off where you used to be?
Oh, way off. It's not just that. What I said earlier is our clients are leaving San Francisco Bay Area because they can't deal with stupid pick and snatch and grab and all that stuff.
And when you talk to them and you ask them, why are you closing your doors, almost to a person, is that what they cite?
Yep. And and we have a contract with the city government, city, and then they do a lot of those hiring and firing. Like every 6 to 8 months, they change your personnel. I don't know what it is. One day you see all foreign employees, and you see 8 months later all Caucasian employees. I don't know what it is.
What is your take on Newsom saying California is very safe? It's the red states that are violent.
He's just saying that because that's the way Democrat. Because all my in-laws are Democrat. They all say the same thing. Always looking at the positive side. So in other words, this isn't a good example. If you get in an accident, you lost your limb or your legs, and first responder going to tell you, at least you still got your two arms, so don't feel bad and don't scream in pain. Okay? That's Democrat. All of them are like that. All my in-laws, they've been trained somehow to say that. Always look at the positive side, even though there isn't any. And to fix a problem, you got to looking at the negative side to fix problem. Otherwise, we've been still riding on jackasses in the wagon. Wouldn't we? If we don't learn from our mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. You make a lot of sense, sir.
Yeah, yep. That's correct. So, and that's what the state is doing. So, are they going to improve it? No. Worse and worse and worse. And then they saying that all Obama AG $1 million a day to fight Trump for no reason and costing us all this money. And I can't even, everybody else's gas is going down. I can't charge my client the gas is going up. Okay? And still holding up at $4.50 is the cheapest in the Bay Area. How are you going to sustain your business? So we basically not giving anybody a raise. And we minimize to minimum employee. Software doesn't get upgraded, accounting software. And that's the way it is.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it. Let's go to Bobby in Burbank. Bobby, hello.
Hi, John.
Hi there.
Can you hear me okay? Oh, great. Yeah, thanks for taking my call. You guys are doing a great job. I love the show. So I own a small business in Burbank. For 35 years, we've been in transportation. Basically, we have vans and trucks, and we service the studios. 5 years ago, we got a letter from the state that every truck that's past 2010, you can't have it on the road anymore. Now, these trucks had 200,000 to 400,000 miles on them, and they were paid off. The way this business works is you buy a truck, it takes you about 8 years to pay it off on the average, and that's when you start making your money. So basically, we had to junk 5 of our trucks that were fully paid for and about to make some money from them. They're good. They're good for about 1 million miles. We send them to other estates for $1,500. That was that. We had to go buy brand new trucks. We're back in debt. And this year they send us a letter that all your vehicles have to be smogged twice a year. Why do I need to smog my cars twice a year?
That makes no sense.
It's just real frustrating. On top of all the employee issues that we have, I mean, I'm blessed. I have had people that have been with me for 35 years. But on top of everything else, to have to go back in debt, and now, this is how I make my bread and butter. If a truck is not here and is being smogged, I need to either turn down work or go rent another truck to back this up. We don't have vehicles or employees sitting around just waiting. So, I mean, quite honestly, I've got 35, 40 years of my life invested, and the business served its purpose. I was able to put my kids through a school and get them onto their career. At this point, if I could move, I would have been gone already. So basically, I'm going to ride it out, and then, I don't need much. My bills are paid, properties are paid. When business is over, it's over. There's just no reason to work hard anymore.
And then that business goes away, and California loses out on the revenue and loses out on all the jobs that you provide. They think they can just keep hammering you over and over and over again, and you'll just take it.
It's the Democratic Party. None of them knows how to make money. The way to get money is to take it from the big pool of taxes or create new permits or new licenses. So I think they're just fleecing us. And nobody really cares. They don't understand. And they don't care. They just don't care. They think money keeps on coming in. We move fine. Somebody else will come in. They don't understand the businesses are the ones that are actually paying the state's bills.
There is a lot of truth to what you just said there, sir. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Last week, Bed Bath & Beyond said they won't be opening any locations in California because of our business climate. Today, it was a man in the hotel business in Hollywood. Newsom says they're full of it. Many of you own small businesses, and now it's your opportunity to weigh in at 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. The Fix California Hour coming up after the news at 1. State Senator Tony Strickland joins us. Let's go back to the phones and welcome Freddie in Santa Cruz. Freddie, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Fred. I'm a concrete contractor, and this state needs 4 governors. Aren't we the 4th largest economy in the world? I mean, Gavin Newsom, the guy should be arrested for loitering. Him and his, his constant, rhetoric. It's such a joke. Okay, I have nothing but Hispanic employees. The IRS is up me every year, wants to know their credentials, their papers, which they've worked for me between 20 and 37 years. Every year they require, updates. Like the guy was saying now about our dump trucks, if it's 2010 and older, they're garbage. I bought a 2005 Peterbilt, almost a $200,000 dump truck that is no good unless I pay the state of California an extra almost $5,000 a year to drive this because it doesn't meet the new emission standards. Now then, not to mention, they require us every 6 months to get these trucks smogged. And it's not even about the money; it's about the time and being a businessman. It's hard to deal with this stuff. Now then, one more thing. Okay, California is green. As a contractor, we have to pour concrete with what is called slag, which is a byproduct of iron ore mining. And fly ash, which is a byproduct of coal mining. We have to put this in our concrete mix in lieu of cement. Well, the problem is, believe it or not, sand, gravel, and cement has a small capability of expansion and contraction. When we put these additives in our concrete, we get nothing but cracks. When our customers, whether they're doing a new foundation or a remodel, a new home or foundation, the state requires us to show proof that we put these additives in there. When the concrete cracks, they don't call Newsom and the EPA. They call me. And I look like the bad guy. So now what happens is I have to take this additives out of our mix so that I don't get cracks in the cement. I mean, it goes on and on. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever done this on the radio, and I appreciate you listening to me. And I need my girlfriend here. She's got a whole list of stuff.
Well, people need to hear it because Newsom is out there saying that this isn't happening. And it's a one-party state, and he is a member of the majority party. So they're inclined to believe him. There's a lot of people out there who work for big corporations. They work for the government. They're retired. They don't work for one reason or another, and they don't understand what goes into this, and they just believe him. And what he's saying is not reality. And the people who are actually running the businesses in California understand that. Unfortunately, they're not a majority. But the average Joe, people who don't own their own businesses, who don't live this every day, they need to realize it. Because if Newsom runs all the businesses out of California, there's going to be no jobs for everyone else, and there's not going to be no tax dollars to operate the state either.
Well, I mean, even like me in my industry, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but, I have all Hispanics. I mean, we do concrete work, and I can't even find a local here in Santa Cruz that will, can work for me more than a week without, wanting his $40 an hour. And I mean, they're worthless. I mean, these Hispanic guys are they're honest. I mean, they're on time. They show pride in their work. I mean, it goes on and on here with the state of California. I mean, as a businessman, self-employed, I'm at 53%. Now, yes, I'm successful. I have rental income, and I have a concrete business that's very lucrative. 50 to 53%. My accountant tells me I should get married. I've been single for about 15 years. That's my tax break. I mean, I was married for 1 month short of 40 years, and my wife passed from cancer. And God bless her. I mean, she was the wheels to my business. And what do they say? Behind every successful man, there's a woman, and that was my wife. But now since she's gone, it's tough. Whether it's secretarial work, it's just really hard to make anything fly here in the state of California anymore and make some money, doggone it. It's just frustrating,
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your wife, but thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. All right, we've got 2 more hours coming up on the John Phillips Show. The Fix California Hour is next. We're going to check in with State Senator Tony Strickland of Huntington Beach. He's going to fill us in on all the latest going on with redistricting, which is what Gavin Newsom is going to ask voters to give him this November. Don't you go anywhere. This is the John Phillips Show.